Inspiration for dressing your wedding chairs with no chair covers in sight.
Hi, welcome back to Bride Society. I'm Rebecca, this is Laura, and we are talking about alternative ways to dress your chairs for your wedding, whether that be your ceremony, reception, whatever. And yeah, if you're not a big fan of chair covers or your standard organza sash in a bow, we are here to provide that alternative inspiration. And all the kind of images that you'll be seeing pop up on the screen today, you can find in our supporting Pinterest board, which we'll link in the description box below.
So the closest thing to the kind of classic chair cover organza bow scenario are these chair drapes, which are a kind of more modern take on how to decorate the chairs. And these are often done when the chairs are kind of nice enough to be on show. So maybe like the Chiavari chairs or some nice like crossback chairs. And there's lots of different ways of tying and draping the fabric around the chair and adding embellishments to just zhuzh up your wedding chairs.
Yes, indeed. Or if you're like me, even if your chairs do need covering, well, I shipped mine out and hired some in because I felt so strongly about the chair cover issue. But yeah, there are all these like sort of different styles that you can pick from it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that. A bow doesn't even have to be in sight if you don't want. But yeah, you can get so much more creative than just that bow at the back now. Yeah, I don't know. I feel I've seen it so many times. But yeah, so there's ones such as like with the, say the word for me?
Chiavari chairs.
Thank you. Yeah. Might not be the last time I get you to do that. Like this one where you see it's sort of like been like woven in and out. Or indeed like where you maybe use more than, well, that is using more than one sash. That's using 6, I believe. Or if you use 2 to do this other kind of like draping where you're hooking over either side. Obviously you can colour coordinate these to the theme of your wedding, or if you're popping in a little flower in the middle and the centre like this one, like you can switch out those flowers to match your theme, what's in your bouquet, and tie that all in together. So yeah, you can get creative in different ways with them there as well.
There's also different styles of fabric you can use as the chair drapes. So if you're a big fan of ruffles, you can have a ruffly one, which almost looks like the chair is wearing kind of a dress. But yeah, again, it's just adding some interest to your chairs. You don't even have to do every single one. You can pick and choose. You could just do the wedding party. You can do every other one. But just to make the room look a bit more exciting, maybe.
Yeah, or sort of weddingify it if it's not maybe even a sort of typically wedding space or something kind of. Because I think the chair covers come out because in a lot of people's mind, you think wedding, you think that's how it looks. Like that is the picture that maybe automatically conjures up in your mind, and that's how you get there. But yeah, so you kind of think, oh well, I don't like them, but I still want it to look like a wedding. Well, this is the solution we're giving you. There, yes. So yeah, but maybe evolving away from the sort of draping, there's other ways again of using fabrics still to zhuzh up your chairs, and that can be adding maybe like coloured ribbons to the back and something like these ones, sort of having it tied round and having it trailing down. And if your venue's kind of like outdoors or in an open marquee and the wind kind of catches those, I mean that's some nice movement. And as it again matching the colours to your themes, it could be multiple colours if you want something like really vibrant and fun, that kind of thing, or more muted. It really kind of adaptable, but yeah, probably quite an easy way of doing things. But again, it doesn't have to be every chair because again, that could be quite a lot of ribbon that gets involved. Quite
labour intensive, especially if you're having a DIY wedding or limited time to set up on the morning. That might be take a bit too much time.
Yeah. There's a lot of difference between choosing to do every other chair, so ending up doing 50 chairs than doing 100 chairs, right? Like you're literally doubling or halving your time. Yeah.
I know we said, we were moving away from the bows. But there are ways to do a bow on a chair, maybe with some ribbon, in a more sophisticated way than the big organza chiffon bows on the back of chairs. Just a simple, small ribbon bow at the top of the back of a chair can look very sweet. It's very on trend. It's this coquette trend that's very big at the moment. Lots of bows everywhere. We saw it at Christmas, where bows were all over Christmas trees. But it can work in your wedding as well. But yeah, smaller ribbon bows rather than the big blousy ones.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And in some situations you can also maybe turn the organza stuff, you get them as like huge flowers, like really like oversized statement flowers. Again, this might not be in every chair thing, possibly just like top table type thing, but it's quite a fun and very unusual way to go. So I appreciate theme of the wedding and stuff like we need to tie in, but I really like that idea.
Making a statement, that one.
Mm-hmm.
And flowers could be used on their own, like fresh flowers. This works especially well if you're want to decorate the chairs for your ceremony, kind of lining the aisle as well. You can hang jars full of flowers on the chairs to line the aisle. It adds some aisle decoration and also decorates the chairs at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. My favourite one of what we've picked is very perhaps similar to what I was just talking about with the sort of tall kind of flower, but more of a crepe oversized flower. I don't know why I'm really enamoured with this one, but again, it's a real kind of statement piece. It would almost mean that you need less other decor in the room, because that is becoming the decor. I say probably not every chair because of the size of them, or even maybe thinking about whose chairs they're on, in the sense of, obviously if you've got gentlemen with jackets coming, obviously the trouble, I suppose with basically the majority of the chair dressing stuff is that I guess jackets, maybe come off and even get put on the back of the chair and you don't see them, which is obviously a great shame. So it might be that I say top table, more focused on the women's chairs, or if you're going alternating, that kind of thing. But yeah, maybe something just to factor into the thinking before you kind of.
That's a very good thought, that you probably. It's not the first thing that springs to mind. The thought that, oh yes, people might take clothes off jackets off. Hopefully not too many clothes. To cover the chairs. And that particular one, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's kind of unusual and new and quite modern, but cool. Something which has been on a little bit, but still is very different to kind of the traditional things we've been talking about, is macrame or macrame chair backs. Again, you might not want to do this for everybody, but they could be a way of signifying kind of the couple or top table. You can even decorate those with, like this one, with a greenery garland as well, to really kind of double up on the decoration. But again, if you're having a boho kind of wedding, this works well with that theme, and something that could kind of be hooked over the back of the chair. Yeah.
I mean, obviously as well, for yourselves as the couple as well, there's obviously other ways to dress your chairs that we haven't really gone into in today's video, because we're kind of more focused for kind of all or most of the chairs. But obviously there are ones where you can get bridegroom or Mr. and Mrs. or whatever combination you need built into the design on the back of your chair as well. So if you want to add a little bit extra, we won't go into that today, but just bear in mind that you can get those kind of things to add on to your chair design as well.
So we hope that's given you some ideas and inspiration that maybe you haven't seen before or thought of, and give you some ideas for using it as part of your own wedding. If you are planning to use any of these ideas, please let us know, or if you've got any more suggestions, please drop them down in the comments below. Check out the Pinterest board to see all the accompanying photos and more, for lots of inspiration on there as well. Give this video a like, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.